Major reform to the examination system for the SSLC and also for second PUC. Now, the Karnataka Education Board has decided to actually scrap the entire concept of having supplementary examinations. The state board will now be replacing the SSLC and PU board examinations with 3 annual examinations, namely exam 1, 2 and 3. The announcement, of course, comes on the occasion of Teachers' Day. Now, this new exam format will be applicable from the current academic year, and students can now take the board examinations thrice, and they can, of course, choose which subject they did well in each of these examinations, and the best possible results is at their decision, or rather they take the call as to which one they choose. Now, the government says this will help them probably get better placements after they move out of the PU. That is, of course, the 12th standard here in Karnataka. My colleague Neha joins us live on the broadcast with more details. Well, Neha, this is an important decision. How is the student community really looking at this decision that has been taken by the Education Department?
Well, Deepak, understandably so, of course, this is two-pronged here. If we are to look at this from the students' point of view, on one hand, this is a massive change that's now coming in for them, and for them to be, able to adopt to this system in the crucial years of their 10th standard is, of course, going to be quite difficult. And on the other hand, also, if we are to look at this from the point of view of the fact that earlier, at least, students had that choice of, giving multiple exams, gearing themselves up for the final examination, and now with that, possibly being done away with, it's obviously going to mean added pressure on the student community. So we'll really, of course, have to wait and see. Remember, whenever there have, of course, been policy decisions like this in the past that have had a drastic impact on the lives of the students, we've seen it being challenged in court as well. So this time around, we'll really have to wait and see, how, of course, this plays out.
Right, Neha, we'll keep a close watch as to what happens. We're also trying to get the Education Minister to join us. We believe that he will be in just a short while from now. For our viewers now, they should understand here, especially those who are studying in state boards in Karnataka, this is, of course, a big move. We'll, of course, be joined in by experts as well to try and assess how this will have a bearing on the mental psyche of the students. More importantly, because the government believes that there was a lot of stress involved when there was a supplementary examinations. Now, the students who join from the next academic course or late will also be provided with a bridge course in order to make up for the missed classes, is what we've been told. For the longest time here, students have been appearing for one annual examination in a year with the passing marks of 33%, of course, and then only one chance has been given to the students if they fail to achieve certain marks in the form of supplementary examinations. Now, in the new reform by the Karnataka government, a welcome move to somewhere ease the stress, they say, and the pressure of the students. Will this really help, or having 3 examinations, is this going to really burden the students more, is the question at this point in time. We'll, of course, be joined in by a host of guests as well to discuss more about this particular issue. Now, more importantly, as we look at the developments that have been taking place over the last month or so, we've had multiple changes as far as this education department itself is concerned. Now, we have Meeta Sen Gupta, Education Strategy and Policy Advisor, Mohammad Shakil, President of Voice of Parents Association. Also, we have Shraddha Jatti, 12th grade student with us, Vidya Niketan School. We also have, in a short while from now, we'll have the Education Minister of Karnataka joining us, is what we've been told. Let's, in fact, get in a word from Shraddha here, being a student. Shraddha, what do you think this particular move of the state government is? How is it going to be received by the student community? How are you viewing it?
I think they have disadvantages and advantages, but in my opinion, it benefits the students because it reduces the anxiety. Because knowing that they have multiple attempts, it can help reduce anxiety among the students, and it allows them to perform their best without a fear of a single high-stakes event. And it also encourages the students.
Okay, Shraddha, I request you to hold on. We have the Education Minister himself with us, Mr. Madhu Bangarappa, joining us live. Thank you, sir, for joining us. And I believe that you're traveling, you're still making time out to join us here live on Mirror Now. For the benefit of our viewers, so if you could explain in detail what exactly are the options with this new formula that the Karnataka Education Department wants to adopt. How is it going to benefit the students? What is the plan like? We seem to have lost that line there. We'll get him back once again as the Education Minister will give us a brief as to what exact. So if you can hear me at this point in time.
Yeah.
Thank you firstly for joining us. I believe that you were traveling. Quickly, let me come to the point now. The viewers would want to know, how does this new formula really fare for the students? That's great to hear. Now that we'll have some stable network with you and probably can spend more time talking to you about this. The students, of course, eagerly would want to know here in Karnataka, how is this new formula going to work? When is it going to be implemented? How is it going to benefit them, sir?
Okay. See, firstly, I just want, I think one of the student was just expressing that there are advantages and disadvantages. I think, if for children's, we believe in chance, you have to give chances for them, because what happens is, okay, I'll come to the practicality of it. For these 120 days, what I have been speaking to my officers and what research they have been doing, is there is a lot of pressure on students during exams especially. And this pressure has turned out to be sometimes it has given a very sad news. I don't want to go to the details of it, which I'm not much going to spend time on that. The only thing is, what happens is, if somebody has taken 1 to 6 subjects, and if they have done everything well except might be 4 or 5, the 4th or 5th subject, whatever it is, we give them a chance for them to rewrite the exam. Again, might be score something more, they would have lost. It's like when you have a high jump, you give 3 chances. You don't finalize with 1. I know sports is different from education, but that whole year they would have studied, but that particular day would have been a better day or a different day, or he feels that I should have performed better in the exam. So these kind of things, we have to give them a chance. And the aggregate, this is, I'm talking about 10th standard. So the 3 exams we are giving, without them, or if they want to get into certain professional courses where they need a little more score, so they can again take up the exam within the same year. Otherwise, what happens is, if they are going to waste 1 full year, I don't think that can come back. We should never allow that. Children's, there is a lot of pressure if they fail, or if they want to take their next academic year for whatever they want to go, or if they have failed, or if they have not performed very well. There is a lot of pressure from the house, in the society, and they have, they get mind diverted also. So to again come back to the education system, we have done this, and I think a lot of other things also are there, which I don't want to, get into more of details.
Okay, so basically you're telling, the students that you have an option now to write 3 examinations, and in each of these examinations, you'll write all the subjects that you've chosen. For example, a person who's doing their PUC in commerce will, and there are multiple options, of course, that the state board provides. So out of these 3 examinations, any subject that they feel that they haven't done well in examination 1, if they do well in examination 3, they can choose just one of the subjects and the best marks out of that, or do they have to choose the entire examination itself as the aggregate?
No. It is the subjects only the subjects what they want, and still they have a revaluation option. After that only they can go there. See, exam happens, then they are not happy, they can apply for revaluation. If they are not happy there, then again sit for exam, and they can only the subject what they are interested. So they don't have to write all the exam. Okay, now if they write the exam, and if they are getting, okay, previously if you would have got about 80%, 80 marks, then next time if he's expecting about 90 and still he gets 70, let us think, then still 80 will be taken what he has got the best score, the top best, it's just like sports, what they do, top 10, top 3. Whatever it is.
So this is not compulsory for every student to write 3 examinations, is it, Mr. Bangarappa?
No, not at all. Not at all. No, not at all. It's not. I'm giving them an option. We tried this in PUC, that is 12th standard. The 3rd semester across India, you won't believe it, 1 lakh, 1 lakh, if I'm not right or wrong, over 1 lakh, that is 1,30,000 students, they took the exam. Why did they take it? Because they want to pass. We have to give that platform to them and that choice. That is our duty, that is our duty. If 1,30,000 out of 2 lakh, under 2 lakh children have taken the exam for the second supplementary, that is the third exam, that shows, they are interested. They want to carry on, for the same semester. Don't you think so?
Yes. Now, but a little bit of concern here when we were trying to read this particular release that came in from the education department, and some of the students that I spoke to was whether they have to write 3 examinations in a year. While of course you're mitigating the stress by saying there's no supplementary examinations, you can choose the best of the marks. The little bit of confusion there was whether they'll have to write 3 examinations. Now that you've clarified that, I think the students of course will breathe a big sigh of relief.
No. They can pick up whatever they want.
Okay. And overall, how soon can you really implement something like this?
No, for next academic year. We tried that this year, 12th standard. Actually, now
Okay.
results are expected any moment. Evaluations will happen. Exams have, I think most probably it is over. I don't know. This is for 12th standard, second supplementary. That is first exam, first semester, first time supplementary, second supplementary. See, we don't want to call it as a supplementary because we want to call it as a board exam so that they are more comfortable. It doesn't show whether he has performed bad, worse, all those things. No, nothing. If he has done well out of 3, if he has chosen 3, then he gets only 2 also is okay. Out of 2, the best.
Mr.
It's more
Bangarappa,
friendly.
I agree with you 100% when you say that, calling it a supplementary examination itself plays on the, psyche of the students, because we've seen that when we've all been in school and colleges, when students fail in one subject, they have to write supplementary. And then, everybody from the society to your own family probably are looking down at you that you're writing a supplementary exam. So this idea that you've come up with, is this after consultation with several students and experts? Tell us, how did you come to this, entire concept or this new formula that you're devising now?
No, this was totally from my department. They have been working this for a very long time. And the day I took over as a minister also, with whatever past knowledge, what I had, and whatever they have shared, and what is the present situation, the pressure on parents, the pressure on children, the pressure even on teachers also, all these things. And see, one thing is, if that pressure is there, one particular subject, even teacher can help in that last that one subject or 2 subject he can help. So I had given full freedom for our department, and which they really worked very hard overnight. I mean, not overnight, for a long period. And we wanted to, announce this on a Teachers' Day. Today is a very important day for teachers and parents. So this is the day, and even teachers have welcomed, and even the students also across the state. Most of them have they're very happy to have this facility because they get a chance. Children should get a chance. Students should get a chance. One day shouldn't decide their fate for their next year or wait for next year. So I gave them full. So it has been very professionally handled, and professional people have been got involved, and then they have taken a decision.
Okay, Mr. Bangarappa, at this point we understand that this will apply to the state board schools and colleges, of course,
Yes.
and especially colleges
Yeah.
that are following the PUC format, that is the state prescribed format. What happens to others? Will you urge them as well to look at an option like this? Because there is, of course, the options of ICSE and the CBSE and the international syllabus as well.
Whatever is under our control, that will be implemented. And secondly, in our state also, we are coming with state education policy, which I don't want to discuss much about that, because Honorable CM have been constantly in touch with both higher education and our school education department. And very soon we are going to have a committee for that. And from there, they will take over everything. And I'm very sure that state education policy is going to be better than even NEP also.
Okay, quickly before I let you go, I'd like to ask you what's the time span in between which these exams are going to be held? Because usually at the end of the year, around March, April, is when the students write their board examinations.
I think we have already released a press release. I don't know how we even got it, but it's all done, and we'll maintain that timing also. Everything is there. Exam date, first exam,
Okay.
then results, then reevaluation, then they can take second exam if they need. Then again, reevaluation also we have given chance. Again, if they are not happy, then they can take the third one and the reevaluation. And whatever best top 10, I wish them well.
Well, Mr. Bangarappa, you've been very patient and answered all our questions. I hope all the viewers, of course, watching, especially the students, have got an idea of what exactly this new change is going to be. And most of them, of course, probably will welcome it as well. We thank you for joining us, and let's hope in the coming days there's no politics that plays over it, because in the recent past, especially in Karnataka, whenever any decision is taken by the education department, there's a lot of politics around it. And hopefully this unanimously will be accepted by all your political opponents as well. Thank you, Mr. Madhu Bangarappa, for joining us.
My little experience, what has happened, I will tell you very clearly. This is only in the interest of children we have done, nothing else, which is very important. And I know what you are referring to, but nothing like that. It is only in the interest of children. I want it to be more friendly, and they should love their exam. They should be happy to take their exam. Not too much of pressure. That's what, and I wish all the children to make use of this facility very happily. God bless you. Good things will happen to you. Don't worry.
Thank you, Mr. Bangarappa, for joining us live here on Mirror Now. Well, that was the Education Minister of Karnataka telling us that this is to help the students, and it will definitely help them, relieve them of stress, not have to worry about any sort of pressure from the society, as well as 3 options now for students in Karnataka who write their 10th board examinations and 12th. The best of the 3 examinations that they choose to write will be chosen as their marks on their marks card, which will of course help them in their future endeavors as well. Now, coming back to our guests who've been with us, Sen Gupta, you've just heard the Education Minister. What do you make of this concept, and do you think that it is something that should be applauded?
I am hugely supportive, have been supportive of more chances in exams for over a decade. And every exam board that implements more chances makes it easier for students to say, and that is my motto and my message to all students, there is always another way. The day you do badly in exam, whether you are in Kota, whether you're in Karnataka, wherever you are, you have to recognize there is always another way. And this implementation actually shows the way very directly. Not only does it say, it's okay if your first exam didn't go well, you go home, you cry, your parents, your supporters are there to say, it's okay, you have another chance. You have the second time you can take it. You have the third time you can take it. And from what I understand from the press release, the first time is compulsory. But for repeaters, suppose you have to repeat the year also, you still have 3 more chances. So this is reducing the stakes of the examination, saying, please, child, do your best, put your best foot forward, and we will take charge of showing your best to the world. Not the best that happened for that one set of 3 years in the year, but the best of all your 3 or maybe even 6 chances that you had, if you understand it correctly. We will showcase only the best of what you could do. So please smile and please be positive about this opportunity to show your best face. It's okay if one chance doesn't go well. Your previous chance went well, we will take that. Your next chance goes better, we will take that. And that is an act of support for the future of our students. Each time you go to a job, you can always show your best face.
Mr. Shakil, let me bring in the other guests as well. Mr. Shakil, what do you make of this decision? Convinced?
It's a good decision. It's a welcome move, but it is to be seen how it is implemented. There are some concerns as a parent that I have, which I would like to put forward to the Education Minister and to the department. See, one thing is, it is a good thing that it takes out the stigma of a supplementary exam. And, the clarity that is required is that there are going to be 3 rounds of exams held if it is done in a manner where the children could take maybe three subjects exams in the first round and 3 subjects exams in the second round to ease the burden for them, then it is good, works to their advantage. It eases the burden on them. Or if they have to take all the exams in the first round, and then if they can take the exam whichever they want in the second round to improve their marks or the performance from the first round, then that should be having a limitation. Otherwise, what I'm looking at is nowadays there is a trend of having 2 pre-board exams in some schools before the final board exam. Some schools are conducting 2 pre-board exams, and parents are very enthusiastic about it. Okay, and they want their child to take both the pre-boards. Now, sometimes the child doesn't want to take both the pre-boards, so they're getting burdened. Now, if the parents want the student to take both the rounds of exams, then it becomes a burden for the child. So it should be limited. The second opportunity should be limited for 2 subjects or something like that.
This is only an option. If people don't want to write the examination, if the students don't want to take it, they don't take it. I think the education minister had made it amply clear there.
Right.
So, a burden is only when you mandate it. There is no mandate here to write the examination for the second time. If you clear it with the marks that you think that you've got.
No, from the government there is no mandate, but there will be a lot of pressure coming in from the parents asking the child to take all the exams and see if he can improve his marks in all the subjects. That pressure should not come.
I agree with you. Well, pressure from home has to be curtailed from home itself.
Other than that,
the government, of course, cannot control what's happening in your house.
Other than that, one more thing, what I'm looking at the dates that have been announced as of now, they should not clash. Like I'm seeing the NEET is, NEET 24 is announced for May. The JEE dates will be announced in December. So a student is doing 2 pre-boards. They're doing a number of board exams, attempt in the board exams. Then they have the entrance exams, which they have to attend. These dates should not clash also, the entrance exam dates. And we are now looking at the final, lap of the race that the student is running, which is the exams, the assessment. Before they come to this, I would request Mr. Bangarappa to have a good education policy for the state, a holistic education policy for the state, keeping the larger picture and framing the overall policy friendly for the student, because exams are the last hurdle or the last lap of the race. What kind of teaching methods? Are we going to continue with the rote learning? Are we going to make a shift? How are we going to make the shift? What are the changes in the pedagogy that are expected to come around? All these things will have an important role, and the learning outcomes of the child. These are the important things that need to be looked into.
Let's hear from Shraddha once again, because I had to cut her short while the education minister joined us earlier. Shraddha, you heard the education minister yourself. You've seen the options that are available for our viewers as well. Our producer Saksham has put up all the details which are on our screens, including the dates when the Karnataka boards, the 3 exams will be held. How do you view this as a student now?
It benefits the students because it's very motivating, and like multiple attempts can motivate the students to engage more actively with the curriculum and syllabus, and they know that they have a chance to improve their grades. And it also allows the students to deal with unexpected life events like family emergencies, and they won't have a fear of missing an exam. And it also encourages the students to review and learn from their mistakes, and it promotes a deeper understanding to their syllabus.
Shraddha, I want to ask you, because Mr. Shakil was pointing this out, that, probably, some of the parents could pressurize the students that, well, you have another option, you probably didn't score enough, it is 89, why not go for 90 and then write the examination again? Do you think that will be a situation here?
Yeah, with some parents, there might be a situation of pressure, but if the students have scored like really well in their first attempt, I don't think the parents would put that much pressure either.
Okay, let me come back, in fact, to Meeta Sen-Gupta once again. Meeta, while, Mr. Shakil pointed out a few issues, as far as we've heard from a student perspective too, when you look at the issue of having options, do you feel that somewhere it could be exploited as well? While of course it does take away the burden or the stress in the minds of the students that, well, it's not the only examination and you have two other options left, but also too many options, does it really mess things up a little?
I think what is key here is going to come in the education policy. What is key here is the design of the question paper. Now, if it becomes the standard rote learning paper, then it becomes a race to 100 again and again. You take the test again and again. It's like drilling and you do better and better if it is a rote learning paper. But if it is an intelligently designed question paper, like many in papers that test ability, like the SAT again, any number of times you take the test, your score remains in the same bandwidth. And once you have one or two iterations of that, an intelligent question paper, an intelligently designed exam will not lead to improvement unless the child has genuinely improved their understanding of the application of the knowledge they are taught. So the design of the question paper is one caveat. I will agree with that. If it remains a rote learning paper, then we will be in this silly race of drilling again and again and putting parental pressure again. The second point I would like to make is with this wonderful move, rather than putting limitations and banning, and all gatekeeping ultimately leads to problems only. Rather than putting any gatekeeping options of 2 exams, 3 exams, I think we really need to engage parents in parental education and helping them understand how to enable their child rather than force the child to do better in a single in a single track race. Every student has some wonderful qualities. Follow those qualities if this one hasn't become better. So yes, parental education should very much be a part of implementation and the rollout of this examination design policy also. But as a policy from an education department, I think it is wholly to be supported, must be supplemented, I will repeat, with intelligent question design.
Right. Thank you, Ms. N. Gupta, and I thank all the other guests as well who've joined us, been patient as well, as we've had the Education Minister explain in detail about this particular policy that they plan to come out with. Also, we should note that the state education policy, excuse me, the state education policy is something that the government is also planning in the coming days. So a lot of changes, of course, expected for the students. We'll see how it pans out. Thanking all our guests once again. We're moving on to some more news that's coming.